Hi, this is Walking and Talking Spirituality. Thanks for taking a walk with me as we close in on the end of 2020. I'm thinking about some of the lessons that I learned, and a word that's emerged as I've been walking around this morning and reflecting is the word margin. This has been a remarkable year. It's been such a challenge, and again, we don't have to run through all the different things, but as I look back, I'm really grateful that over the last 10 years, as I've kind of been on a rebound, rebuild, realignment in my own life, and really every part of my life, is I've built in margin in my life, and I have to say that allowed 2020, for me at least, to be an utterly remarkable year. Again, I totally recognize that I've been fortunate that my own job in education, I was able to shift that online, but at some level, I was already ready to do that because I'd created margin and begun dabbling with technology years ago, so it was really effortless to shift what I was doing from in-person to virtual. The other thing, margin, that's a real takeaway from me was a financial piece. I worked really hard over the last 10 years to be debt-free other than my housing payment, and socked away a decent emergency fund for a worst case scenario, and I'm grateful to say that I didn't have to dip into it in 2020, and I didn't recognize that that wasn't true for many people. But I have to say, when things were really scary and I wasn't sure about the future, of course, I trust the Lord, but it was a different psychological experience for me than previous scary times that have experienced, like the '08 crisis, the dot-com piece, Y2K, if you go back far enough, in these various scenarios, because I actually had a financial margin if I would have needed to fall back. I knew it would be tough, but we could make it. And then perhaps most importantly, and I think this is what undergirds those first two lessons, was that I've built in spiritual margins too. And that's what most of these videos have been about. I started shooting these walking and talking videos back in January before we knew what 2020 was really going to be like. And I was already thinking about curiosity and becoming a reservoir and growing and those sorts of things. But the huge takeaway is build in a spiritual margin for yourself. Imagine that you're chopping wood every day. And I guess it's more of a cold weather piece, but just imagine every day you have to have enough wood to allow your own fires to burn, to open yourself up to more and even more of God's abundant grace. But just imagine that you're every day, especially when it's easy days, you're just chopping an extra piece of wood and tossing it back behind the house. So you're always building in a margin. Because I know the one thing that I was able to do this year was I was able to reach out and serve more people in 2020 than I ever have in my previous years of ministry. And I was able to do that because I'd already built in a margin of abundance that allowed me, when things were getting scary, and even when the world seems like it was literally perhaps coming to an end, metaphorically, and things were shutting down and people were really scared, I had plenty of wood behind my house to draw from and even to share with other people. So what are you going to do going ahead to build a margin? Build in margin in your life, and so that you're ready to be an ambassador of abundance to every single person that you meet each day. That's my goal. That's one of my goals for 2021. Keep building up the margin. I'd love to hear what you're doing to build margin or rebuild margin or rebound. If you need to have a conversation, I'd love to have a conversation with you. Reach out, send me a message, set a time we can have a talk. Again, I'm Brian Russell. This is Walking and Talking Spirituality. Until next time, live by faith, be known by love, and be voices of hope for others.